Hey, welcome to Financial Friday. I'm Mr. Eric Watson, and my objective is to get you on and keep you on the road to financial freedom. All right. And today, what we're going to talk about is home ownership. Home ownership. And before I get into some of the details on it, one thing, the funny thing about home ownership and living here in the land of the free, home of the brave. The American dream is for everyone to own a home, right? That is part of the American dream. And we all feel that we should all be afforded the opportunity to own a home. And I do believe everyone should be afforded that opportunity. However, everyone ain't ready. Everyone ain't ready. And we live in a microwave society where we want to go from point A to point Z without all the letters in between. You have to go through B, C, D, E, etc. to get to point Z. And people nowadays don't understand that life is a process and you have to get there. And we like to look at home ownership as something that we are, it is a right for us to have a home. Well, it's really a privilege. All right. It is not necessarily your right to own a home. It is definitely something that you have to work for, and you have to go through the processes required to get there. Because again, it's a journey. All right. Everyone's not ready for home ownership. Everyone, and I'm not saying that everyone should not own a home, should not be given the opportunity to own a home. But at everyone's, point in time right now, they may not be ready for home ownership. All right. Go through the process. And one of the big things I think about as far as home ownership is when you are living paycheck to paycheck. And if you don't have some type of savings set aside for some type of emergency, if you have a home and you're paying a mortgage month to month, and then you have to pay for some type of emergency, now you've set yourself back. You may not be able to pay your mortgage, or you may not be able to pay some other bills. So you put yourself in a tight spot. And that's why I say everyone is not ready for home ownership. Not at their current state. Can they get there? Absolutely. Everyone can get to the point where they can and should own a home. But again, it's a process. It's a process. We can't think that just because we live in this land of the free, home of the brave, like I said, just because we are living in the United States and it is a privilege that is afforded to many people to own a home, that is necessarily afforded to us in our current situation. We have to understand that. We have to go through the savings. We have to go through paying off debt. We have to go through a period where we are not necessarily living paycheck to paycheck, because again, you can get derailed very quickly if you're living paycheck to paycheck and something happens. Now you can't pay your mortgage. And I'll say, just because the bank will lend you that money does not mean you can afford to own that home. Again, just because they lend you that money does not mean that you can afford it. So you have to think about all the other things, the possibilities, the what ifs in life, and be prepared for those things, because things will sneak up on you real quick. However, for those who are in a position to own a home, you paid off most of your debt, right? You have savings tucked away for that rainy day, that 3 to 6 months of income saved away just in case something happens. Okay, now is a great time for those individuals to seek home ownership. Now's a great time. Why? because the interest rates are about as low as we will probably ever see them. Lowest interest rates in a while. And it's obviously because we're in a economic depression. However, you have to be able to take advantage of it if you can. If you are in a position to take advantage of it, now's the time to take advantage of it. Also, for those who are looking to refinance homes, those who already own homes and are looking to refinance, now is a great time to refinance as well. And what I would always encourage for someone who is refinancing, your payment may go up a little bit. However, refinance into a 15-year fixed rate mortgage. 15-year fixed rate. Why? Because you don't want to drag your payments out on your home over 30 years, where the payments on your home could potentially outlast you, right? You want to get to a point where you can pay that home off and potentially get to a time where you live in a home that is actually paid off. So you want to shrink that time that's required to pay off that mortgage using a 15-year fixed rate mortgage. All right. So for those who can afford it, again, your debt's paid down, you have that savings. Now is the time for you to consider that home that you may have always wanted. And if you already have one, now may be the time to consider refinancing. But again, 15-year fixed. You don't want to drag those payments out forever. All right. So I hope that helps someone out there. Again, home ownership is something that we should all seek in the long run. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we're ready right now. But when we're ready, if we're ready right now, now's the time. All right. I hope that helps some people out. With that, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I wish everyone a blessed and prosperous day. Go out and consider that home. If not, get yourself in a position to afford that home. And I'm gone.